Hi, I'm Edrie from North Decatur United Methodist Church. Thank you for joining me as we journey through the book of Acts. Today we're in the first 5 chapters of the 12th chapter, and we have a perfect example of a Herod behaving badly. Herod was the ruler of the territory, and he was kind of popular with the Jewish authorities, the Jewish religious authorities, and he was Roman's designated ruler over Judea. There had been persecution of Christians, and this Herod thought he could crank it up a notch because that seemed to win his approval with the local Jewish religious community. And the timing is right around Passover. So this is going to have a shadow of the story of Jesus' arrest and crucifixion. Peter and James are the ones that are talked about in these verses. Peter goes to jail and lives to have an awesome story that you'll hear later in the week. But James doesn't fare as well and is killed by the sword, becoming the second martyr of the Christians, the first being Stephen. This James, who was killed, was the brother of John, James and John, the sons of Zebedee. So he was a follower of Jesus, one of the original 12. And indeed was one of them asking, who's going to sit at the right hand of Jesus? And so he's been really diligent in his faith, as diligent in his faith as Herod was bad news. When I think of multiple generations of Herods being cruel in their reign in Judea, I think of multiple generations of power in the United States. There are some correlations if we want to look. What does 3 or 4 generations of racism look like? Well, that's just how Grandpa was. And now we've got another generation acting the same way. But Peter and James were a threat. They were Christians, and they were not going to bow down to Caesar. They were not going to bow down to any Jewish religious authorities. Although Peter and James were both good Jews, they were trying to take that faith in a new and different direction to follow Jesus. Herod wasn't having it. A martyr for one and a jailbird for the other. And yet these are the guys we follow. These are the guys we read about and we admire because they practiced their faith even when it was hard, when it was unpopular, when it was life-threatening. And because of their actions, we have Jesus now as a part of our lives. And I would like to give thanks to that. Thank you, James. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Jesus. If you have observed several generations of a particular way of thinking or a particular piece of persecution that goes on and on over generations, bring that up as you like and comment or share this on Facebook, because there are some contemporary parallels that we could really be thinking about. In the meantime, know that you are a beloved child of God, and that there is nothing you can do, nothing that will remove you from the love of God. Be well. Bye-bye.